Like I've already mentioned a few times during the course, I knew I wanted to be a coach back in December of 2023. Let me tell you how. So I'd recently joined a Donna school and I had gone through maybe one or two courses already from Hamza. Yeah, I believe I went through the productivity course and the mindsets course. The mindsets course was huge. 10 mindsets that were big for honestly just life and business in general. Things like $10,000, like 10K per month isn't that much money. So like you can make that, like you need to have that belief that it isn't that much so you can make that. Something like one, the theory of constraints. I already knew about the theory of constraints, but it helps solidify that knowledge. The theory of constraints is basically that there's one of three things holding you back: your skills, your traits or your habits, kind of things you do on a daily basis. So your skills, your actual abilities, your habits or your traits, the things you do or who you are, and your beliefs, what you actually believe can be done. One of these three things is holding you back. So you have to identify where it is, which constraint you have, and you have to break this constraint in order to make progress. Think about this. Let's say you're running a race. Let's say you're running a two-legged race, but your partner is the slowest person in the group. Does it matter if you're the fastest person if your partner is the slowest? No, right? Because your partner is the slowest. So you're still probably just gonna get in last. It doesn't matter how great your strongest parts are because you're only as strong as your weakest link. And so once we identify this constraint of ours, once we improve that, once we break that constraint so we can anchor, we release the anchor and we like come through and evolve, when we come through on another side of a constraint, we see exponential progress gained. And so it's like, imagine if the slowest person suddenly became maybe halfway through the pack, right? So let's say we had let's say you had a time of, let's just say 5 seconds. Okay. And your partner had a time of 15 seconds. Okay. So your average, right, would be 10, but except it's not about average, it's about your partner. So your partner is at 15 seconds, so you're stuck at 15 seconds. But when your partner gets to 10 seconds, now you all go to 10 seconds. When your partner gets to 5 seconds, now you're both at 5 seconds. So like I said, you're only as strong as your weakest link. That's like the theory of constraints. And so we have to identify this constraint. What are the skills getting in my way that won't allow me to execute on this? What are the habits or the things that I do every day? Who I am? Like what do I maybe need to change about the way I act? Or what do I need to change about the way I believe, the way I think? Guys, like the mind is the most powerful weapon. You you do what you believe you can do. You don't do what you don't believe you can do. Like it's that simple. What's planted in the mind shall always be returned. And so we have to plant positive messages in the mind. That was a little rant, but so I I joined this down school back in December, and I knew that I wanted to be a coach then. And it was funny because Hamza had literally dropped 2 weeks into when like I joined a down school, maybe 10 days. He was dropping courses in a down school every month at that point. The course for December, how to make your first $1,000 online. The business model was being a coach. I was like, yo, let's go. So tapped in and I was just flipping around. I didn't really know exactly when I wanted to be a coach in. Thought about like purpose initially, which is kind of where I'm at now. Thought about so many things: purpose, mental health, addiction, no fap. Uh, yeah, man, like so many like things, but I never, I never really stuck with one. So I was never able to really hunker down. And that was twofold. One, because I felt like where I was right now, at that moment in my life, I wasn't my complete authentic self. So what I was putting into the world wasn't representing what I actually wanted, which makes sense. I was kind of in this point where I was like, not necessarily too deep in the self-improvement hole. I won't say that, but I think I wasn't thinking for myself as much as I should have been. And I was almost not necessarily following Hamza's guidance blindly, definitely not blindly, but I was taking like what he said as like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to work for me. And I didn't realize that we all have our own experience and that things that work for Hamza and like the other guys in the Dana school may not resonate with me completely. And although Hamza's experience and the things he's taught me, it's helped me a lot. And I resonate with 80% of the guy. That last 20% doesn't mesh too well. It doesn't really go together. And so that's all right. But I realized, okay, I'm gonna have to find my own thing for real. Um, and so, eventually I left the Donna school. I didn't really have the money for it after a few months. But I was also at this point where I was like, honestly, I don't even know if I completely resonate with it right now. It was kind of at this point where it was starting to get a little degenerate in terms of catering towards like casual sex or women too much. That's not the topic of the video, right? But around this point, this was probably around March this year, so a few months ago, February, March, yeah. I started trying to think about other business models. Ooh, maybe video editing, maybe videography. Yeah, about maybe I'll do some like social media management, or I'll help other entrepreneurs start their own school communities, right? Thing is, guys, like I was interested in doing all these things because I love video and I love helping people. I love business. I love art, but I didn't love what I was doing because although I love video and I love helping people, I love art, I love business, I didn't love helping other people do their thing. I wanted to do my thing, right? But I didn't want to do my thing at the time because I didn't feel confident in myself. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't have the one step behind mentality. But I also just, I was thinking like too much about money, I think. And it was weird for me because I felt like I was at a point where I knew that money wasn't really the most important thing to me, and yet it was the thing that I was prioritizing, which doesn't make sense, right? And so this is why I'm so big on purposeful productivity, purposeful entrepreneurship now, is because like I had this business model of coaching that I thought I wanted to get into, and I didn't get into it completely. One, because I didn't believe in myself, but two, because I just didn't have the patience. Okay, fair enough. So I try videography, I try video editing, I try like helping other guys, social media management, um, helping other like entrepreneurs with the school community. I just didn't care. I didn't want to do the work for other people. I wanted to do the work for me. I wanted to build my community. I wanted to build my YouTube. I wanted to build my audience. I wanted to build my community. I wanted that for myself, right? I wanted to actualize my vision. If I'm gonna if I'm gonna actualize someone else's vision on the same timeline, I can actualize my own. Why the fuck would I not actualize my own? That doesn't make any sense. And so this is why I'm such a big proponent in purposeful entrepreneurship. Like, I didn't believe in videography. I didn't care about the video editing. I didn't give a fucking fuck about managing someone else's social media or someone else's YouTube. I didn't care. And so I really couldn't get myself to do the work, even if it was like I didn't do a lot of my I got a few $100. I got maybe $300 for my videography and video editing when I helped a couple entrepreneurs with their stuff. But I did a lot of that work for free to like get experience and to help people. Like I'm not against working for free. I'm not against helping people or getting experience like that. But I didn't like that I was working for free with them. But I made $0 online for 27 days while I was posting daily YouTube videos, and I felt better than I ever did because I knew I was impacting my people. And so that's really what this that's really what this business this that's what this video is about. Finding your people, right? So we talked about this a little bit in the avatar. What problem used to plague you? Like I mean plague. And this is how we're going to find our business model. Because the business is just problem solving. Business is all about trading value. It's usually trading the alleviation of pain, the delivering of pain to dream outcome, right? Getting someone from here to there, A to B, through the method of your vehicle. That is typically that value traded for money. That's usually what business is. And so If we want to make money, if we want to provide value to people and have them give value to us, aka money, then we need to solve a problem for them. We need to alleviate some kind of pain for them. So you ask yourself, what problems have I solved in my own life? What pain have I alleviated in my own life? For me, this was unblocking my creativity. It was becoming a consistent creator. It's making my first dollar online. So what do? I help blocked creators unblock their creativity, create consistently, make their first dollar online. You feel me? That's my business model. Um, we we typically we typically want and we typically are driven to help our previous selves much, 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 much more than we are to serve any other avatar type because we felt the pain of our previous selves, right? So what problem used to plague you? Maybe it was a porn addiction. I've been there. Maybe it was video game addiction. I've been there. Maybe it's fitness, right? Maybe you used to be overweight and you got super shredded, or maybe you used to be super skinny and you got jacked. Maybe it's focus. Maybe you got super good at focus and productivity. You can help people with that. Maybe you are super good at like overcoming procrastination, sitting down, doing the work. You can help people with that and like performance. There's so many things that are problems that can be solved. And guys, like we have to just we can't be like too close-minded with our problems because there are an infinite amount of problems to solve and there are infinite amount of levels to problems. We can't think that we have to be at level 100 to help somebody at level 0. All right? Well, what have I been telling you this entire course? You can help someone at level 0 if you're at level 2. You can help someone at level 0 if you're at level 1. If you have confidence that you have a method to go from 0 to 1 consistently, 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 0 to 1, you've been there, you felt that pain, you're like, yo, I 1,000,000% know I can help this. Like, I can help other people do this. Just do that. Go all in on helping people get from 0 to 1. That is your business model. Maybe you've made a like maybe you're saying like, oh well, I haven't made like $1,000 online yet. So how can I teach people how to make money online? You don't have to do all that. You've gotten your first client, right? Maybe you've gotten your first 5 clients. Teach people how to get their first client. That's what I'm doing. Teach people how to make a product. Teach people how to market that product. Teach people how to use like sales and human nature and stuff like that to actually create valuable product and actually get people to their product through their traffic. It's like you don't have to be at level 10 to help people who are at level 0. You just have to be a couple levels ahead. I'm a couple levels ahead helping you right now. So, what is that problem that used to plague you? It really can be like literally anything. Like anything. Like shit. It can be how teenagers can drink more water so they perform better in the gym. Who knows? Like I don't know, bro. But like it should be very specific to your avatar and to you. Like I am a spiritual creator, so I target spiritual creators. I was blocked, so I target blocked spiritual creators. I wanted to unblock and create consistently because I love creating and I wanted to create to feel fulfilled. So I helped blocked spiritual creators create consistently to feel fulfilled. And I wanted to use that creating consistently to fuel a business model that means a lot to me. It makes me a lot of money and reaches financial independence. So I help spiritual creators who are blocked unblock their creativity so they can create consistently, live fulfilled lives, and use that creation to build a business, hopefully reaches financial independence one day or gets them to reach financial independence one day. That is the business model. I've had pains that I have had. I have problems that I have solved. I am now monetizing those solutions. That's it. And I'm monetizing them through one-to-one coaching. I'm monetizing them through a community. I'm monetizing them through this course right now. I have a package. I have an offer. All right. That's what we're going to talk about next. So once you identified your problem, guys, it really can be anything. Okay. It can be someone who is related to you, like your past self, maybe you from 6 months ago, a year ago, someone who doesn't have the skills you have right now, someone who is interested in the things you're interested in, but maybe doesn't have the experience that you have, right? So they have your interests and maybe they want to have your skills, but they don't have your experience. So you give them your experience. You basically like save them that time. They're almost buying your time. You give them your experience based on your unique and compare I mean your shared interest. You share your experience with them based on your shared interest, and you help them level up their skills. You help them alleviate their problems faster than you did, right? Because you have that reference to experience to help them out and give them a plan, to give them action steps. What problem used to plague you, and how can you use your unique skills, your unique interests, your unique experiences to help others and help the world, right? So once you find out what that problem is, now we can start creating our offer. Now we can start understanding what we're going to actually sell to people, okay? So we want to create a package. The package is basically multiple things put together. So let's say I wanted to just sell my one-to-one coaching. Like all I wanted to do was sell one-to-one coaching. And let's say all my one-to-one coaching was just calls. Like all I'm saying, like I'm going to hop on a 1 hour call with you every single week, and that's it. I'm gonna help you unblock your creativity and help you live consistently. 1 hour a week, that's it. Give me like $100. Okay, sure. Like some people would pay for that. Some people would definitely pay for that, right? $100 for 4 calls, 4 1 hour calls. Like, I mean, I'd probably pay for that if I thought their time was valuable enough, definitely. But what if we sweetened up the deal, right? What if we were like, hey, you get these 1 hour calls with me every week. You also get my personal phone number so you can text me any day. Hmm. So now, whenever someone may be feeling confused or they have a question, they can actually hit you up immediately instead of having to wait until the call. Oh, that's actually pretty valuable. Okay. Hey, wait. You're also going to get my ebook that I created that basically mapped how I took these steps of going from problem to dream outcome. Oh, shit. Okay. So you're telling me I get to hop on calls with this guy, I get to text this guy, and he's giving me an ebook that's helped me get like, that's basically a roadmap. So I have a roadmap. I can ask him questions about the roadmap at any time because I have his number, and I get to talk to him face to face every week for an hour. That is way more valuable than just an hour of your time every week for a month. You see what I'm saying here? And so this is why you want to create a package. You want to offer you want to offer your customers multiple things that will help them alleviate that pain and go from A to B. Like I have a package of one-to-one coaching. So you get a 1 hour coaching call with me within 24 hours of like getting your package. Okay, you also get a 30-minute coach call with me every single week. You also get my personal phone number. You also get a game plan that I make for you, which is basically like my action steps and homework that I assign you, which help you with actually like making progress in the real world as well as reprogramming your mind and changing your mindset, right? So it's helping you like that. You also get access to digital renaissance creators, which is my community, exclusive content, is also like more daily like group coaching calls, and group calls. And you also get access to the Purposeful Productivity course, right? So when you buy my coaching offer, like so let's say my coaching offer was for 1 month, you get 4 coaching calls, right? 4 hours of my time, $100. Okay. Now let's say for that same $100, I'm like, hey, instead of that, I'm gonna give you 1 hour immediately when you come. Okay, so that's 1 hour of my time. Then I'm gonna give you half an hour every single week. Okay, so that's 3 hours total. Okay, so it's a little less. Okay, so why would I buy this instead? Okay, hey, you're also gonna get daily group calls. So you can literally come and just talk to me every single day. You can come interact with us every single day. Hey, if no one else is in there, you get a free coaching call. Well, single coaching call, bonus coaching call, let's say. You can also talk to the people in our community and interact. You can like network and you can bounce ideas off of each other. You can build and you can work on projects together. You have the Purposeful Productivity course, which is like instead of an ebook, it's a course which maps like these things and how you go from A to B. So would you rather have all of that? Would you rather have one-to-one coaching, which is 3 hours of my one-to-one time, and then hours of my group time every week? Okay. Would you rather have the community, which is creators, like-minded people that you can work with, and the course, right, which is a video course, exclusive long-form content? Would you rather have all of that for the same $100, right? The same $100. Or would you rather just have 4 hours of my time? That is the power of an offer. That is the power of a package, right? So it's like, here's the thing, especially about beginning in business, guys. When you're starting out in business, you just have to give a fuck ton of value. This is Alex Hormozzi's principle for business. You need to over deliver 10 times the value. If someone has bought in your product for $100, you need to believe that you can give them $1,000 worth of value. If you don't believe you can do that, your product's not valuable. So maybe you bought DRC for 17 bucks a month because you're an OG. Maybe you bought it for 47 bucks a month. Maybe you bought it for 97 bucks a month. Regardless of how much you bought Digital Renaissance Creators for, I 1,000,000% have conviction that what I teach in here, that my one-to-one coaching, as well as this community, is easily worth more than $1,000. Like, easily. Because I know that the value I have to provide can easily turn into way more than that. You see what I'm saying? So that is what we want to build. That is what we want to have in mind, our package, right? So there's many things that can go into a package. One-to-one coaching or services, a community, a course, an ebook, a PDF, bonus calls, group calls, whatever. Think about what you can offer your client that will help them alleviate their pain and just throw it in there as a bonus, right? You want to say this is a bonus. This is sales tactics, all right? This is psychology. Okay? We have this core part of the offer, right? So like on my DRC about page, I have here's what you get for joining, which is my one-to-one purpose and creativity coaching. All of those. Everything else, bonus. Community of like-minded creators, bonus. Exclusive long-form content, bonus. Purposeful productivity course, bonus. Daily group coaching calls, bonus. Weekly seminars, bonus. These are the bonuses. This tricks our brain, okay? This tricks brains and be like, oh, wow. So I get this, and I get all this on top for the same price? Ooh, bye. Okay? So think about that when you're building your package, okay? Now we're going to talk about a few more concepts, and then we're going to get on to actually talking about how to build the products in the next video. So let's talk about the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is a key principle for life. But it basically reflects all the time in business, all the time in work. The 80-20 rule says that 80% of our efforts come from, or no, 80% of our results come from 20% of our efforts, 20% of our tasks. And that 20% of our results come from 80% of our efforts. Think about that. 80% of the work you do comes from 20% of the stuff you do. So what does this mean? This means that basically only 1 in 5 tasks that you do is actually important, is actually making progress. Okay. So think about this in the context of leverage. If we have a task that moves the needle for us the most, right? This 20% or these 20% of tasks that we do are responsible for 80% of the work. Then we need to find out which tasks those are because those are our biggest leverage tasks, right? We do the least amount of input and we get the most amount of output for those. So we find our leverage. Okay. What is the business model that we want to pursue so we can find out what our leverage is? I am into one-to-one coaching, right? I love connecting with people one-to-one. I also have a community because I love community and I want to like garner a community that is about coming together and learning and sharing. spreading love, spreading education, building together. I just want to have a creator community, right? So that's why I created DRC. I love one-to-one coaching. I love helping people one-to-one. So I do one-to-one coaching, right? Thing is, one-to-one coaching isn't very leverageable. It's not very scalable, right? Because it's my one-to-one time. But that's okay, because a community is scalable. Group calls are scalable. Okay, I can work with that. So I build the community as my base product. And right now I offer my community with my coaching. But when I get to the point where I have too many like one-to-one clients, the community and the one-to-one coaching will detach from each other. And I'll just be selling DRC as a product, which will still have my time as a group. It just won't come with my one-to-one time anymore. And then I'll transition to having like different one-to-one clients. Um, and so that is how I'm going to transition into being more leverageable. But that's, we're not worrying about that right now. But if if that is my leverage, right? If coaching, if DRC, like my product, is my biggest leverage for my product, then I need to understand what can I put into my product to make it more leverageable. Content, more exclusive content that makes it valuable. I put more of my time in there. That isn't necessarily leverageable, but when I do calls, I record those calls, and those calls create content that makes the product more valuable. I make long form written content that documents and can stay in the community forever, which keeps it valuable. The more people I get in there, the bigger our community grows, the more creators are in there. The more creators are in there, the more the more value we have and the more wisdom we have together, which means the more valuable we are together, which means the more valuable the product is as a whole, right? So basically, it's just going to take time for me to leverage and scale my product. And so I'm basically just doing tasks that will help me get there. I'm making content in there. I'm getting people in there. I'm trying to get more customers, more clients in there. And I'm making, yeah, that's it. I'm making that's basically it. More content and more customers. That's how I'm making my product more valuable. That's basically it. That's my leverage. How do I make more content? I mean, I basically just record content or I write content. How do I get more customers? Through my YouTube. That's my traffic, right? My YouTube is another part of my leverage. It's another part of my 20%, right? So I have my writing, I have my content creation for DRC, which makes my product more valuable, but I also have my writing and my content creation for my YouTube, which makes my traffic more valuable. And so when we're pulling the levers, when we're pulling our levers of business, and we're constantly improving our product, we're constantly improving our traffic, we're constantly going to be growing how much flow comes into both of these, which means our revenue will be growing, right? So that's the rough idea of the model. We want to identify our problem so we can identify what package we want to create. So we can identify what our 80% or what our 20% of tasks are and how we're going to use this 20% of tasks to how we're going to use this 20 how no how we're going to have the most leverage using those 20% of tasks, right? So how can we best create output with the input based on the tasks we have? So how can I maximize my output for digital renaissance creators? How can I maximize my output for YouTube? How can I improve my product and my traffic with the least amount of time? That's going to give me the most amount of impact. Lots to think about. Probably want to rewatch that video. Let's get on to building the product.